Hello, everyone. Everyone, how are ya? It's Monday, 13th of December. Central is here, I think it's today, or it's 21st. Welcome everyone to this London, New York, Asia Open, whatever it is. Let's see what it is in a couple of seconds. Today we're gonna go through dollar pairs, yen pairs, gold, silver, oil, stock market, whatever you want us to do, please add them in the chart, in the chat, and then we shall see what happens. Ooh, that was a bit much. As you can see, there is merch there at shop.eivindfx.com. So, where are we now? Euro dollar. I think over the weekend, before the weekend started, I said dollar strength. I don't know if that actually happened or if it didn't. Well, no, it didn't. But I was wrong. But on the course of this Monday, we have had a quite a strong Monday. By all means, we had quite a strong Monday. So looking into the markets here, dollar is still in a range. But at least right now we are at the top of the range. So the question becomes, is it break time? Break. That's supposed to be break. But as Picasso, I'm not Picasso anymore, so I'm going to do T. Break time. What is important this week, ladies and gentlemen? This week's most important event is FOMC. And also, if you have flights to catch for your loved ones, please make sure that you are there on time. It is extremely expensive to buy a new ticket, so learn from people. So break time to hire? Who knows? Well, that's what we are kind of hoping for. Is probably not what I've used as in previously, but I've said that's kind of what the market is kind of pricing in at the moment. Wako poa lakini, niko poa sana. Mohammed says, hope you are well. I am alive. My mouth still works. I am better. I was on bedtime, but my brain doesn't seem to work. So if I have like some seconds here and there where I don't speak much, I'm sorry. That's my brain. That's my brain not saying what it wants to do fast enough. If you are a mentorship student, I've sent you a lot of. I have posted a lot of articles to read today. That's kind of one thing. The other thing on Aussie is that even though we didn't get the break lower on Friday, but we are seeing a break today. So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? I don't know how high it has to come, wants to come, will come before falling. So by all means that is out there, that is kind of what I'm looking at. By the way, if we break this high, then that is very, very, very interesting. But so far, Aussie dollar is looking to the downside. Why does US dollar, Aussie dollar, US dollar look to the downside? Because of implied strength of the American dollar. Now, when does that happen? That happens probably on the Fed meeting. So, you know, there you are there. So what's kind of the weekly move here? No. Indicators. Pivot Point Pro. And then take away that one. And then we will wait for that one to load. And then it's a whole shebang. Okay, I'm not going to do that now. So, the market is so far, in my opinion, looking into around 70, give or take for the week. Can we go lower? Absolutely. We can go lower. So where are we now on the monthly, you might ask? Well, we are still in the buy zone as far as I remember. but we can still fall further. So right now, if we break higher from now, that is technically important. So just look out for your bias there and take it home. Pound dollar was strong this morning. Strong. Now, coming into New York session, we are not as strong anymore. It has still not made a higher high. Technically important. It has probably only got back up to like a weekly buy or something. No, sell or something. Yeah. So buy and sell is kind of intact right now. So if it felt like, well, I should have sold it, well, that was the second chance this morning. But it hasn't made a higher high yet. Now, why would pound be stronger this morning? I don't know why, but I only know the reason why it should fall. So, yeah. Hello, mate. Thoughts on CAD-yen? If you got a chance, I will sure do. So you guys are a bit silent today. I don't know what happened to you guys, but you guys are a bit silent today. What happened? What's going on? How was my weekend, Michael? My weekend was as good as the sofa I was sleeping on. So if that makes you any wiser, then yes, that makes me that makes you a bit wiser. So I am seeing the pound dollar to the downside, probably 130 or lower. Why, you might ask? Because Mr. Boris Johnson over the weekend opened up threat level 4, I think it was. So yeah, we're back to lockdowns, or not lockdown per se, but we are closing up on lockdowns. The Norwegian government said today that they are going to do what they're going to. I don't know what they're going to close, because they can't close the border, but they are seeing record high daily new cases. That doesn't move the market per se. The market moves with lockdowns and restrictions in such things. So when our government says that they're going to increase whatever the measurements they're going to do, is going to be worse. So we will not know until tonight. So, but I hope I stay available to come home. I'm still a Norwegian citizen, so they can't kick me out yet. So yeah, supply chain problems means less coffee and sugar, so less energized and less talkative. Yeah. So today we have coffee. How did you see anything new on the thumbnail today? How do you think about the thumbnail? Does anyone see the thumbnail? Was the thumbnail weird? Max said, "Are you at Zanzibar, Max? Oh my lord! Oh my lord! Can you send a photo on me to me on Discord? I would love to see Zanzibar today." Mark, I'm doing okay. Thank you for all your concerns about my well-being. I deeply appreciate. I have found a very fantastic family that cares about me and my well-being. I also care about you. So if we all keep that way, I think that will make a fantastic family. Doesn't need to be a big family, but a family is still enough. I haven't seen any photos yet, but I guess. But yeah. So there we are. Now, coming into the markets, what are kind of expecting for this week? We have FOMC on Wednesday, and then we have ECB on Thursday. What can you expect this week? A lot of volatility, and on FOMC, I'm not sure if I will be able to make it even. On Wednesday, there seems to be family coming first. That has been neglected for the past half a year. So seems like that's going to be the day that the family is gonna require me to be away from the charts, and that's like the most important day of the year. But family. So I don't know if I will be live even on that day, but I will be probably a very fun live and a very energetic live and all those good things. But maybe I will just pass by for like a half an hour if I ever pass by. I don't know if I ever will be allowed to. So just giving you guys a heads up. Hello, William. How you doing? Can you look at Aussie Cat? Tag the weekly sell zone, and when it's downtrend, looks like a sell. Okay. So dollar downside, euro downside, pound downside, Aussie downside, all those downside things. New Zealand, yeah, downside. Dollar Cat, upside. Look at that. That's a strong one. So, CAD yen was asked for, and as far as I know, I am still in it. I still haven't been tagged out at break even there. What's kind of happening here is the market, in my view, is a bit of a confusion. The market is, so this is a bullish move, and this is a bearish move. So that is a bearish move here. That should everyone should have that as a resistance. This is now support. Now, what happens in between here is a question mark. Now, the market is also a bit of a range in here, and it seems to be a lot of pressure coming here and coming in here. So, where are we going to go? That would also be up to the market, but I think that we might fall further. I don't want that to happen, but I would love to see that. That would be lovely. But can't control it. Can't control it. So James, who asked for rate, I think that it's a okay market in between. I would love to see it, going higher and all those profits coming into my bank account, but market tells me it's a bit of a. Daddy, what are we going to have for dinner? Kind of a situation. Pound dollar has been asked for, CAD yen has been asked for, and then Aussie CAD, for some reason that I don't know, has also been asked for. Other than what's your thing? And to a sell side, I don't know. I don't feel it. Well, I have actually made a trade plan here, apparently. Says we should sell it, but let me give you another trade plan here. Double top, lower low, lower high. That's number one. That is number one. That is not where I sell. I don't sell number one. I sell number two. Number two is always the most, always the best, always the one that gives you the most profitable trade setups. So I will wait for this one. This one can still continue higher. So far, at least. But it is definitely a weakness to the uptrend. So yes, it is. You have a good trend. Reversal. Maybe. So we shall see if it does go through. Okay. S&P 500. Okay. That was Friday. And I said 46.61. I'm sorry that we went to 46.63 instead. I'm sorry. I was a bit aggressive there. Or 64, 65. So somewhere around, I was a bit aggressive on that entry. Sorry. But I went higher anyways. So. And then who was that? There was a Norwegian fund manager who said today that he was 80%. He was 80%. 80% stock and 20% cash. That's what he said it was. Because he was saying that, well, market can do some deeper retracements before going up again, but he was having a very bullish outlook on the stock market, but still having the chance of buying something that would fall because the markets and some stocks and some companies are very overvalued. Now, I think there's a good theory, at least, to be somewhere around still bullish on the market, but still being able to have the thought process of having a pullback and still being able to buy that pullback. Now, to be honest with you, just my 2 cents there, if you have 80% in stocks, that's a general rule for any market. That is not necessarily now. That's not necessarily for 2021 or 2020. That is a general rule across the board in kind of not any market, but in most market conditions, which is generally bullish. So in the bullish market that we have right now on the stock market, on the S&P 500, on the Nasdaq, on the Dow Jones, that is a good general rule. All right, Randall. Good morning. $1, please. Not sure if you have done already. If so, we're already watching the stream. Thanks in advance. I have already done the $1, and I am looking for that one to go to the downside. So that is one side of it. And why do you keep talking about this stock market all the time? Well, to be honest with you, you have to make your choices, right? You have to make your choices in life. So when you do investing isn't just a universe that is one thing, Forex or stock market or crypto or Shibu, or whatever other S coins. But it's a whole universe. It's a whole financial universe, and everything is interconnected. So if you understand where dollar is going to go today, then you would also maybe understand where oil is going to go. Then you might know where gold is going to go. Then you might know where the stock market is going to go. Then you might know where commodities are going to go, like beans and sugar and wheat and all those. And then you might also know where the bond market would go. Why would you be able to say all of those based upon dollar? Well, the reason why, now I want your like in here, the reason why you would know where dollar would go and then you can say where everything else is going to go is because everything is interlocked and you look at reasons. Okay? What is your reasons for dollar strength or dollar weakness? Now, you can add those reasons to oil, gold, stock market, commodities market, bond market, and they will react a bit differently than dollar would do, but everything is in harmony at this given stage of the market. So, if you have reasons of dollar that we're going to have, for example, higher interest rates in 1 year, what would happen to commodities market? That would go higher. If we're going to have higher interest rate, what would happen to gold? Well, that would generally speaking go higher. What would happen to the gold market if we are generally seeing interest rates going higher? That would also go higher. Now, what would happen to gold in this situation is probably a bit more difficult, but generally speaking, could seem to be falling. Now, all this is because of one reason on dollar. Now, oil has its own demand and supply. Gold has its own supply and demand. But everything comes down to what is the reasons, and people will move money from one side of the thing to the other side of the market. Kind of if you are thinking that we're going to have stronger markets in America, we're going to have fantastic employment, we're going to have a fantastic inflation next year in America, you have to take your money from somewhere. It's not like your mother gave you new money, another 100 million to invest just because America is going to do better next year, or because Australia is going to do better next year. You still have the same pot of money. The other thing is, have you during this time reduced your position in the market because you're a bit scared, you're a bit, I don't know about this market, I don't really want to trade this. Now, that is something that you might want to look into. How much is the cash balance? Because if you go to the COT reports and see the percentage of interest now versus a year ago in any kind of currency, you would see that there's a change there. It depends on the currency, but I guess it's a bit lower now. The people are holding on to a bit more cash now, that they're waiting for a better opportunity. Just mentioning. Cheers. Arcadian has been requested for, and I've done that immensely throughout this stream. So it is covered. I want this one to fall based on CAD strength, but dollar strength seems to be taking over. So what is happening here? Well, I would say that is kind of a weak reversal. Resistance. Now, that is just risks. But what is the pros? Well, you have support. Now, where is your weekly entries here? Your weekly entry was this morning, or last night, depending on where you are in this world, but around 27. Well, how did you know? I didn't know. That is me being in backward looking. But if I then go to the daily setups, and I went to this morning, and I'm wondering, where was that? That was in the buy zone. And then if I'm a buyer in UC CAD, that is the easiest win you had this morning. Okay? Easiest win. So, and then you're thinking here, like, I'm going to sell this thing. And did you sell here? No. That is not a sell. That is a higher high at resistance. But if it went like that, and then you can sell it probably tomorrow at today's buy price. But that didn't happen. I'm very sorry for your loss, sir, but that was not a good opportunity. So I would technically say that we should probably, well, technically we're still tilted to the upside. The other question is it the top or probably not? Probably not. Now, what is happening to CAD today this morning? I want to see its strength. I think it's pretty weak. Why do I want to look at CAD strength? Because I'm expecting it to happen. And CAD is semi-weak. Dollar is very strong this morning. So, can I sell where dollar is strong, CAD is weak? No. So, that's that. Now, for tomorrow, you're thinking, well, what can I do tomorrow? Tomorrow, you can wait for price to come back to support and then take it higher. Now, what would be the reasons for this one to go higher? Now, I can't remember. I have to do some googling, and there was article today that I don't know what they are called, that they're expecting the dollar CAD to go to there we are, okay, to go to 130, and support is at 125. Okay, so those are just technical sites, by the way. I thought there was going to be some reasons in there because I didn't read it, I just saw it. But anything else here? Brent to hover over 76 in 2022. Okay, and then Fed to double the pace of tapering and delivering a more hawkish statement. So if you're a dollar bear coming into the FOMC, that is a red hot alert. And if we're going to be 30 billion in reduction of the QE program, we are going to see the fastest ending of the QE program in history. So, scope for the upside. Everything is like going higher. So everything is like all the market, all the banks, as far as I can see, is seeing this as bullish. But I might not have read everything out there, but generally speaking. Yeah. So I was trying to find some reason for USD CAD strength, but I can't. But so we will just move over to something else, and then we'll continue. Okay. What else? What else, people? What else? Where are ya? Marco Polo. Hello, Evan. You're sorry you're late. Dude. I'm gonna beat your ears. Yes. Yeah. I'm okay. I'm surviving. Okay, I'm surviving. So right now on the markets, as you can see here on the euro, we're still in the range. And we're seeing some dollar strength today. That is a heads up for Wednesday. And markets are probably pricing in what they think should be the outlook on Wednesday. So here we have someone, 1% of someone, whoever that is, thinks that we're gonna have an increase of interest rates on Wednesday. That is very unlikely, but you never know, right? So that's guy. I don't know if that's probably the most hawkish person on this planet that thinks that we're gonna have increase of interest rates in December 2021, and also if that happens, that's gonna shake this world to the fundamentals that people are falling off their chairs. Okay, so just saying that for all context out there. Aussie, new low today. That could be a buy opportunity if dollar would continue to weaken, but yeah. The other one was pound, coming strongly back this morning. I don't know where they found the strength though, by the way, but I got probably, and then pound yen also strong this morning, but yes. So markets this morning, we are higher on the S&P, we are higher on Nasdaq. We're not the highest high of the year, but we have recovered most of the fall so far. We're coming into gold. We have still not a higher high on this gold thing, so I'm still waiting for that higher high thing. Looking into oil, I think this can continue to fall because the American and countries starting to look up and all those things. But I really want this to go higher. So if I can just get a break of 73, I would be happy. I just don't know if I will get it first, right? You know. What else? Bitcoin, bitty. Still a range there, and still not hasn't recovered higher, at least from what has happened lately. So you know it is interesting. Oui. So you know, just waiting for this one to go higher, basically. USD Swissy, still not a higher high in sight so far this morning. Now, that's kind of my go around on the world here, where we generally would say dollar strength, Aussie weakness, Euro weakness, pound is its own league, New Zealand weakness, and then we shall see. And then yen on the COTO report over the weekend was one kind of a thing that I didn't expect to happen. Why did I not expect that to happen? Well, that is my own opinion out there. And they're talking about short squeeze. How does a short squeeze look like? Now, short squeeze looks like where a lot of shorters takes profit. And also a lot of buyers comes in. We have been heavily short, non-commercial have been heavily short yen, and still is, but okay. I guess we will wait for a brighter day. A brighter day. Okay? Jan Per says Salva. Hello, mister, says Frederick Mugua. What do you call it? Buru. GU on the watch list. Yeah, I've pointed GU out already there. And G Aussie Da Yen is kind of like, well, let me show you. That is what not I wanted to see. I want not to say. But yeah. So, Aussie falls a bit after hitting that resistance and being like, well, that would be great, but I would rather love to sell a lower low, lower high, like somewhere here tomorrow if I was to sell it, but I'm not. That kind of will be my sell plan there. But other than that, I will... I would much rather see a higher high here before we kind of get into anything whatsoever here. So just hoping and praying that this one would turn higher, coming back down and then higher. The other one is if we go all the way down there again, make a double bottom, higher high, higher low. That is kind of what I'm hoping for, wanting to see, have as a plan. So is it going to be A? Is it going to be B? I don't know. Kadian is not showing any signs of bullishness at this morning. So if we are now going to be like, well, we want to see a bullish trends, we're going to see strength in the Canadian, we're going to see Canadians being like, wow, there's something you don't want to see in that market condition. It is that the blue and the red, the 21 and 55 EMA crosses down on the 1 hour. You also do not want to see it happening on the 4 hour. So I technically now need to say wait. I'm still holding though, but it is what it is. Okay, Euro Yen is in such a situation where we don't have a trend. Well, we probably have some bearish trends here, but we don't have a bullish trend, which would probably be what you would hope for, at least in most of the things that you are hoping for in the end. So not yet. New Zealand yen, I find this one to be absolutely bearish on the 4 hour. Straight out of the box. Why? Because we're not making higher highs and higher lows. Can this one turn higher? By all means in this world, it can. I would love to see that, but I don't see it at the moment. So another one, wait. Dollar, yen. Sorry. Dollar yen out there. Any dollar yen traders? I know you guys are out there. Still no trend. Trend is nowhere. X. Why? High, low, nothing here. So it's still somewhere between. Still somewhere between. Not even a 15 minutes time frame is going to save you from this one. So it's still a range here, so yeah. Well, that's the double bottom here though, higher high, maybe that's a buy, but it's a range, so be careful, be careful, be careful. Gold, be careful. I am seeing people coming into my DMs demanding a trend, trading this one like during like unruly sailors that has done nothing else than not their job. That is kind of what you want to see. And then if it drops, then that's it. But we haven't had a trend since April. Sorry, since October. So November. Sorry. By the way, sorry. But you know, it's nothing there. Nothing on the gold or gold there. Why is there nothing on the gold? Because the gold doesn't move, doesn't have higher highs, doesn't have lower lows. Do I expect it to move? Yes, I hope it will move any second, any moment. My long-term plan is for this one to go higher, but if it doesn't go higher, I can't force it. It's like a donkey. Can you force a donkey to go move? No, you can't. Or you can. You can lift it up with lifts. That's what you can do, but you know, oil we went through that. Silver went lower and then went back up again. Interesting. Lord, gold looks good for daily range trading. Yeah, mostly only. But I wouldn't even recommend that. Why? Because spikes on New York might even take you out, like a child taking their candy. Ja da. The thing from the UK is this Boris Johnson guy. I'm just wondering if pound is strong today because it wants to fall, or is it because somebody else I don't know about. But yeah, metaverse. Nah, it's pretty interesting there. It's pretty interesting there. So New Zealand, yeah, just going back to that one for a couple of half seconds. What do you mean? Yeah, range there. Yeah. So what I see here is I see a market having resistance here, but I also see a market that is kind of like just waiting for a volatility event. And if you're not on the clue train when the clue train goes, it's kind of like difficult. So Lowell says, "Hi, Ivan. Thank you very much, Lowell, for actually saying my name actually correct, or spelling my name actually correct. That is apparently very difficult, even though people sees Eivindfx. Thank you for that. I'm really appreciate that. Risk on, risk off. So let's go through the markets and see if we risk on, risk off. Yields going higher, meaning risk on. Dollar is range, so that is kind of like, I don't know, a kind of a bullish range. So maybe a risk off ish. I would call this neutral. Stock market is higher, that is risk on. Stock market is higher, risk on. New Zealand yen is risk off. Gold is risk neutral. Oil is risk off. Is there anything else then? US 30 still higher. So that's kind of like the major risk, and then you can probably see fear or greed index. I think there is out there as well from the CNN. And we are now at 38, which we are in going into fear. So, and then volatility index Vixen is going lower, so that is risk on. So there is a bit of I don't know. It's a bit of somewhere in between. We are not really risk on, risk off. It's more like individual indicators going in their own directions, kind of a thing, and then right now it's kind of giving you different results. With Omicron news coming, I'm thinking risk off, but what do you think? So, Omicron, I don't care about Omicron. Omicron and the deaths, sorry to all those who have passed away, bless them, and bless their families, and also the amount of people being affected. That is kind of not a care for me in my trading. But what I do care about, and what the market cares about, is lockdowns and restrictions on movement of people and goods and services. That's gonna move the market. So right now, it's kind of like in between. We're not really trying. We don't really want to lock down again, but they're going towards there. So it's kind of like an awkward middle ground there. Evergrande did default last week, and as far as I remember, on Forex Live this morning, China, the PPP, I don't know what to call it, PPPP, the China CPPP, I guess, China People's Party, said that they're not going to save Evergrande. But they kind of have to in the end, because they've kind of also said that they want to create stability. And I don't think that politically China wants to be the bad boy for another bank crisis. So it's really delicate there. So what I'm thinking, American, I'm thinking lockdowns. Are we looking down? Are we not looking down? And in Norway, they do measure that by the amount of cases, but actually what they're actually looking into is the amount of people in hospitals. So if you have a lot of people who is in bed, who is in ICU, who is in respirators and stuff like that, that is what really matters, at least for the Norwegian government. So that's kind of the numbers you need to look into. And right now, they are more and more declaring a health crisis in Norway. They are asking pensionists and retiree and students to come help out, and even some children's clinic, like the children's department in the hospital, was declared full. They couldn't take any more patients in. So yeah, and then another one will not refuse to rule out any further restrictions before Christmas. So that's kind of, well, Norway is not the biggest thing in the world, but that's kind of what you have to look at. Generally, I think Norway has general rules that general countries look at least, because what really matters to them is the services. No, goods and services across the border. We need to have food. We need to have goods. That stops the economy. Needs to make businesses still run, and they need to make sure hospitals and city councils do not drown. There is a massive queue of people at the booster vaccine walk-in stations in my town. 6-hour queue in town centers. People are responding to board appeals, but the system can't cope. Didn't you want to use the military or something like that to also help out? But that was just some Norwegian news, but that's what I saw. So that's kind of like an interesting. Yeah. Now China also identifies the first Omicron variant infection in Tianjin. I can't. Sorry if I said that wrong. I do apologize for everything. But also, Harold, your town is pretty run down. And then also, if you go to COVID cases in Norway per day, that is kind of Norway right now. So we have record high right now, record high daily cases, and many of them are the new Omicron. But UK is starting to peak, going to up to the peak of January 2021. So that's also a very interesting, thing to see. And also, if you see maybe, I don't know, worldwide, so we are kind of creeping upwards again of a new peak. Am I scared? No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I'm only thinking that what do you call it? USA, United States. That's what it is. United States are not rare near going up to a peak. So that's kind of the downside of what could pull the Fed not being so aggressive, but the economy is really pulling them in a really strong direction. How about Igani? Mazudi Zana received greetings from Kenya. Pound Swissy, I'm thinking of selling. What do you think of that? I think we might start trending again this week because of a lot of fundamental drivers. JK Marcus says he's quiet. Good to have you here. Happy to have you here. All good. Pound Swissy is probably not my favorite at the moment, but is locally at the higher high going higher. So what are you thinking? We have a range here. I don't know why I did that though, but we have a range here. Okay. So what is the drivers of Pound and Swissy? The Pound has its own drivers at the moment, but I think I probably think we're done selling. Probably done selling the Bank of England disappointment news. The other thing is Switzerland. What will they do? They don't want this your Swissy to be too strong. We have tapped into 103.60. I was expecting a much higher price on your Swissy. It is the market versus the central bank. So we shall see who wins. But market is buying Swissy and the central bank is selling it. So it is pretty interesting, by the way. It's pretty interesting. Can we see that in the COT airport, Swiss franc? For some reason, non-commercials are short. But if you go to the COT, that dealers are much long. Leverage funds are shorting it. But who else is buying it then? Because as far as I know, Euro Swissy doesn't fall just because of nothing. But yeah. Can we look at USD CAD, Pound CAD, and some exotics? I've already look at USD CAD for many times here. The cases and hospitalizations. The cases and hospitalizations are going up in America. Very interesting though. So, for those 42 who are here right now, have I given you any information that would provide you to give it a like and a follow? I don't know. It doesn't seem like people are like coming in here and giving me a lot of new followers in these lives, but I hope to find some new beginners here that needs my help. That's why I'm here. So, yep. Westpac comes in today and says the Aussie dollar is outperformed the other major currencies last week. In order to extend the recovery above 72, it needs to negotiate a very crowded local and global calendar, including Fed, ECB, Bank of England monetary policy decisions this week, and Australia's November post-lockdown job support. So, who knows? EEA, International Energy Agency, are still looking ahead for increase in demand for oil and energy next year. So really, that's great for oil, but that doesn't necessarily initially starts out very pressing in that. No. It is kind of more like a slow pace over time. Yeah, I know, Janisa. I'm forever grateful for you having her on my stream. Forever grateful. I do not remember when I did that stroke though. That's around 7th. Interesting. Fair enough. Tapped the target for the month. Went bullish. Went up. Tapped the target for the bears. For the bulls. Sorry. So I don't know. You tell me. Are we going to go down again? It's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird pair, to be honest. Would you consider the Australian dollar US dollar outperformance as technical retracement or a new fundamental catalyst? It's definitely just market tapping in to take profit and finding a better price to sell it from. By all means. Because Aussie dollar hit, what was it, 70? 0.70. Yeah, that's why it rose back up again, in my view. Okay. Again, going through the markets, dollar might go higher this week because of FOMC. S&P 500 might also have its own shenanigan going on this week. When was the last Fed meeting? Was that around 27th? I can't remember when it was. So that would be interesting. Pound yen. Maybe. Still bear, still a range. So still nothing to see here. Nothing to do. All right. That's it for me today. I took off even the AdSense today. So I'm not making any money of you. Imagine, I'm not even making any money of you. So today, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm going to go over to TraderNix Live and other lives, and I will be live back on A1 Trading in 1 hour. I'm going to talk about a bit different things then. But we'll still go through the markets and all those things. But maybe I will add some trades in there, some sells. I hope at least I could do some live trading there. So yeah, have a fantastic day. If the Euro-Russian-Ukrainian conflict escalates, would that affect the market? Yeah, dollar strength, euro weakness. Okay, have a great day. Boom. See you soon.